There are chemicals in the plastic of your water bottle, the lining of your food cans, the coating on your receipts that can slip into your body and scramble your hormonal signaling. And that disruption pushes you toward exactly the metabolic state that drives chronic pain. Most people have measurable levels of these chemicals in their bodies right now. Let me show you what they do. I'm Dr. Padda. Throughout this series, we've built a picture of the metabolic dysfunction behind chronic pain, insulin resistance, inflammation, abnormal fat. In this episode, I want to show you an external force that pushes your body toward all of it. Environmental endocrine disruptors. Because your environment is part of your physiology, whether anyone's told you or not. Endocrine disruptors are chemicals that interfere with your hormonal system. Two of the most common are BPA, bisphenol A, found in many plastics and the linings of food and drink cans, and phthalates, found in soft plastics, food packaging, and countless personal care products. These chemicals can act as what we call xenoestrogens, meaning they mimic or interfere with your body's natural hormone signaling. And exposure is widespread. These compounds are detectable in the bodies of the vast majority of the population. Here's why this matters for pain. Research has shown that these endocrine disruptors interfere with metabolic signaling in ways that favor insulin resistance and promote abnormal fat accumulation. Scientists like Dr. Angel Nadal and Dr. Frederick vom Saal have documented how BPA can disrupt insulin-producing cells and impair insulin signaling. Some of these compounds are even described as obesogens, chemicals that push the body towards storing fat. Now connect that to everything we've already covered. Insulin resistance drives pain, and abnormal visceral fat is an inflammation factory. These chemicals are quietly nudging you toward the exact metabolic dysfunction we've spent this whole series learning to reverse. Beyond the metabolic effects, this represents a constant toxic burden your body has to process and detoxify, contributing to oxidative stress and inflammation. And the same fires we keep returning to. No single exposure is a catastrophe. The issue is the relentless, cumulative, daily nature of it. Drip by drip, these compounds add to the total load your physiology is fighting against. For someone already struggling with chronic pain and metabolic dysfunction, reducing this hidden burden removes one more force working against their recovery. The research on endocrine disruptors and metabolic health has grown into a substantial field. We have laboratory and population studies linking BPA and phthalate exposure to insulin resistance, to obesity, and to metabolic dysfunction. Major scientific bodies have formally recognized endocrine disruptors as a genuine concern for metabolic health. While this is an evolving area, the direction of the evidence is consistent. These chemicals nudge metabolism in the wrong direction, and that direction leads toward pain. So if you've cleaned up your diet, you're doing the work, and progress is still harder than it should be, this may be one reason. You can be doing everything right and still be swimming against an invisible chemical current in your environment. That's not a personal failing. Most people have no idea this exposure exists or matters. The empowering part is that once you know, you can dramatically reduce it and stop fighting a headwind you couldn't even see. So here's what we do. We help you identify and reduce your major sources of exposure. Practical, doable changes in how you store food, what you drink from, and the products you use that meaningfully lower your daily chemical load. We support your body's natural detoxification pathways through nutrition and by correcting the deficiencies that those pathways depend on. And we address the downstream metabolic effects, the insulin resistance and inflammation these chemicals promote, with the comprehensive approach you've seen throughout this series. We can't make the modern world disappear, but we can substantially lighten the load your body is carrying. Your environment is part of your medicine. When we reduce the hidden chemical burden working against you, your body gets to fight the battle on fairer terms. If you've been doing everything right and still struggling, let's look at the whole picture. Go to pain.tv and take the first step. I'm Dr. Padda. Let's clear the obstacles you didn't even know were there.